Can you hear me? Yeah. Can you see me? Do I need to move this other way? Move that one. I don't want to block the view here. So I feel like my life finally came full circle last weekend as my mother asked me to take her to Olive Garden for Mother's Day, and I told her, nope, we got spaghetti at home. Yeah. My comedy career has really been taking off this year. Back in January, I won a big comedy competition with a cash prize for first place. I couldn't brag, but I figured after that, it's time to start taking this shit seriously. So I quit my day job. We're doing this for real now. But being honest, we burned through that $100 pretty quick. Probably should have thought that through. But I did get some really great opportunities because of it. You guys ever heard of a comedian named Kevin Hart?
Yep.
Yeah.
So a couple weeks ago, I got a chance to open for a guy that looked just like Kevin Hart and did most of the jokes from his second special. So that was cool. But yeah, winning that contest, I got a Netflix deal. I did. $7.99 a month, full HD on 3 devices. They don't just do that for everybody. It said it right there in email. Now I've gone completely blank. What were we talking about? We were talking about me winning that contest. And I got a Netflix deal, which I'm pretty excited about. I feel like y'all quite shared my enthusiasm of that. But, jealousy's ugly, y'all.
I was happy too, man.
No, thank you. Somebody got my back. I appreciate that, at least. Any of y'all married? That many people here are married? Happily? Look at y'all. I've been happily married for 12 years. Yeah. By happily married, we don't have any kids. Big advocate for not having kids, y'all. Think about it. If I had kids, you think I could be standing up here on stage having fun on Saturday night?
Yes, sir.
No, I would be at home watching that same episode of Paw Patrol for the 5,000th time, because that's his favorite one. Eating chicken nuggets for dinner, because the little son of a bitch won't eat nothing but chicken nuggets. That's all he'll eat.
Fucking Happy Meal.
Exactly. No, fuck that, man. No. I'm all about if you don't have kids, you're doing it right. And if you do have kids, as I heard all that, all that happy, you got kids, get rid of them. I don't mean Susan Smith them off the lake. I just mean put them up for adoption. Take them up to Mountaintop Flea Market tomorrow and ditch them up there somewhere. They'll go home with a Mexican family. They'll be fine. It's good to learn a second language. They'll need to know that Spanish when they go to work in the chicken plant one day. My wife gets on to me because she says, why do you use Susan Smith in that example? Nobody knows who that is anymore. Why wouldn't you say Casey Anthony? And I gotta admit it. If you're going to make a joke about someone murdering their child, Casey Anthony's a strong contender. Here's why I go with Susan Smith. Now, to her point, I'll explain, just in case, I don't know if everybody here knows who Susan Smith is. In 1994, a lady named Susan Smith was dating a rich guy who didn't want children, and he broke up with her. So, Miss Susan Smith strapped her 2 young boys, 11 months old and 3 years old, into the car and rolled said car off into the lake, drowning them. She then went to the police station and said they were carjacked by a black gentleman who stole the car and kidnapped the kids. There's nothing funny about that story. If you snickered or laughed, if you even smiled during the story, you need to go to church tomorrow. You need Jesus, okay? It's not funny. There's nothing funny about that. But here's the part that is funny to me, and here's why I use Susan Smith instead of Casey Anthony, okay? When I was a kid back in 1994, I went to school with a kid named Nick Smith. And his mother's name just happened to be Susan Smith. You guessed it. And if you think me and my friends didn't have fun with that, you are mistaken. Because Susan Smith in Mississippi, where I grew up, she existed in a time before the phrase Karen was invented. Back in them days, we just had to call Miss Susan a bitch. It was a simpler time back then. I miss it. It was simpler. And here's another dated reference you may not get, but back in those days, whenever I was around adults, I always turned into Eddie Haskell. I don't know if y'all know who that is from Leaving Fever. But whenever Miss Susan would come to school to pick young Nick up, I would go up, and this would entertain all my friends. I'd go, "Hey, Miss Susan, is that your new boyfriend in the car over there?" And she'd go, "Oh, yeah, it is." And I go, "Does he get along with Nick?" He said, "Well, yeah. Oh, okay. Well, hey, Miss Susan, it's a really nice day out today. You know, y'all should take Nick to the lake." And all my friends would start laughing like it's Def Comedy Jam or something. But Nick wasn't too fucking amused. And I go, "You know, Miss Susan, there's a lot of bad drivers out there. You better make sure you strap him in real good." She goes, "Oh, I will." And I go, "Oh, I know you will." Now, you would assume that Nick would have a sense of humor about that. He didn't. He didn't. But that's why it's never safe to assume. You always hear the phrase, "Oh, yeah, it's safe to assume." It's never safe to assume. Give you a couple examples. All right? You look at me right now on this stage, and you assume that if I played sports in high school, I played football. Wrong! I played tennis. So now with that information, you assume, well, if he played tennis in high school, he wasn't fat. Wrong! I was fat! I wasn't this fucking fat, but I was fat. Now, being a big guy, such as I was, the head football coach tried recruiting me every day to play football. He would stop me in the hall, eventually started calling my house, and he would call me up, and one day he said, "Hey, why don't you want to play football? You want to play tennis? You want to play football? We're just kind of queer." Now, before anybody gets your phone out and gets wound up, okay, this was in the early 90s. Again, just like Miss Susan, it was a different time. In those days, if a male didn't want to participate in something that was classically known as being masculine, in those days, it was socially acceptable to call him a queer, or a girl, or a limp-wristed knob gobbler, or the dreaded F word. It was okay. I'm not saying it was okay. That's just the way it was back then, y'all. I don't know how old y'all are. That's just the way shit used to go down, all right? So I apologize, but I'm just telling you how it was. But I got tired of hearing that every day. So one day when he called, I said, "Hey, coach, you're assuming I'm a queer because I play tennis. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you how this goes. Every afternoon, I go down to them tennis courts, and I play mixed doubles with a hot girl in a very short skirt who bends over in front of me over and over and over again picking up tennis balls. While meanwhile, across the street, all the manly men spend the afternoon bent over with their face in another dude's ass. And afterwards, y'all strip down naked and shower together. So I would have to assume that maybe y'all are the queers, Coach Lyles. What do you think? Some bitch hung up on me. I never got recruited for football again. Y'all seen any good movies lately? You seen anything that wasn't a remake? Everything's a fucking remake now, and that's okay, but why don't we make it fun? Why don't we make it interesting? Why don't we start taking beloved characters from certain movies and put them into different movies? Like, can you imagine Planes, Trains, and Automobiles with Forrest Gump and Carl Childers from Sling Blade? A hotel scene waking up. Dale, what is your other hand? 22 pillars. Those aren't pillows. Lethal Weapon with Han Solo and Lando Calrissian. I'm getting too old for this shit. Give me another Colt 45. Instead of Ace Ventura Pet Detective, we have Ace Ventura RoboCop. Got that big puff of hair on top of his head. Alrighty then. Allow me to ask you a few questions. Now, test audiences told me not to act out through talking with my ass. By test audiences, I mean my wife. So, she's not here tonight, but y'all owe her a debt of gratitude that she shut that down, because I was definitely. I'll let her know. I'll tell her. She'll watch the video. Very touched. So just a couple more things, and we'll bring a real comedian up here. But, right now, so I've been reading on Facebook. Anybody y'all get on Facebook and look around and read? Those old people still on Facebook. I know some of y'all moved on to whatever the fuck the kids these days are doing. But we live in a time right now where there has never been more of an abundance of availability of sexy pictures, whether you like them nude or you don't, but whatever you're into, there are more sexy pictures out there than there's ever been. On your phone, you can see anybody on God's green earth naked if you want to. The goddamn girl that works at the freaking Matco has got an OnlyFans. You can look at her butthole if that's what you're into. But in spite of that, for the past week, I'm led to believe that red-blooded American males have been cranking it to pictures of 81-year-old Martha Stewart in a swimsuit. What the fuck are we doing? We gotta do better than that, y'all.
Yeah, I've seen it, man.
I mean, there's people that do it. They do look me square in my face and go, oh, yeah, I do. That's like, and there's somebody here right now, somebody's back there going, oh, in front of their wife. They did that. They're putting on front. They rambling out there. You know you did.
Yeah, you know, dude.
Just admit it. Okay. We're going to judge you, but just admit it. Speaking of looking on Facebook, I know everybody experiences this. I was at work the other day, and this guy's looking at his phone, and he's like, oh, that's crazy. And y'all all know the move. Everybody now, they sit there and try to make noises and comment, trying their best to get you to ask, what is it? I won't do that. For two reasons. One, I don't give a shit. Number two, I'm just a dick that way. So the guy could go, man, that's crazy. Oh, that's so crazy. I finally go, what? He goes, they spotted a shark right off the beach in Panama City. How's that crazy? What's crazy? Like, if they said they had spotted a shark attacking somebody at CVS in Panama City, then okay, maybe that's crazy. If a shark took third place in the wet t-shirt contest at Cassius, then yeah, that's fucking crazy. But I think seeing a shark at the fucking beach is crazy. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's amazing. I don't know. Don't be that person, though. That's the only reason I can tell that. It's not even really a joke. It's public service announcement. Don't be that person.
Don't be that guy.
Exactly. Don't be the guy that's looking at your phone, just trying your best to get somebody to ask you what you're looking at. Nobody gives a shit. You know what? We got all that same shit on our phone. If you saw it on your Facebook, guess what? We saw it too. We don't need to hear your version of it. And that leads me to my last point. There's a lot I could say about the importance of being concise, but I'm just going to leave it at that, okay? All right.